Hey everyone, so this is my week 35 pregnancy vlog. I do have some updates this week. I don't have too much, not a lot has happened. More is going to happen next week because I have my doctor's appointment where I'm going to have my first cervical check and all of that good stuff. Basically this week, my husband and I, we've just kind of been putting all of the nursery stuff, finishing up that so I can do the nursery tour. And I went to Babies R Us with my mom and we got a few last things that we still needed, and we've been stocking up on diapers and all that good stuff. So we've just kind of been putting up like the baby safety gates, and I finished packing her diaper bag, so that video will probably be up within the next few days. So we've just kind of been getting everything baby ready around the house, and in case she decides to come early or if anything happens, everything's done. My acid reflex is on another level this week. It's horrible. Anytime I eat, or like even if I don't eat, if I bend over and I sit back up, I can feel like that throw up or like that acidy taste coming back up, and a few times I've actually like slightly thrown up into like my throat or my mouth area, and it's just horrible. It's funny, I was actually at dinner with my husband the other night and we were at Red Robin, and I was drinking lots of water and I kind of burped a little bit, and this has never happened before, but when I burped, water came back up with the burp, and I was like, whoa, what's that? And just any time lately that I eat or do anything like that, like my stomach just can't handle a lot of the food, and so it will just start coming back up. I've noticed also kind of along with that when I eat bigger meals that I feel almost like morning sickness again, like I did in like the first trimester, which is like super weird because I think it's supposed to go away, although I have heard that for some people that it can like come back a little bit. I mean, it's not anywhere near the sickness that I was feeling, but I do kind of feel like a little nauseated. I'm trying to eat smaller meals throughout the day so it helps with the acid reflux as well as with the nausea feeling. My belly button is starting to pop out. Where I had my belly button ring, like the skin right there is starting to stretch more, which kind of hurts actually, which isn't that good, so I'm hoping that my stomach's not going to grow too much more. But yeah, my belly button is starting to pop out right there. I normally have an innie, and I mean it's still an innie, but it's definitely like starting to protrude a little bit more. The baby has been a lot more active this week, and like she pushes up against my stomach a lot more, so my stomach is consistently feeling like a lot harder, but tons of movement all day, and it's like super noticeable. It's funny because I actually started substitute teaching this week, and I can sit at the desk sometimes and see my stomach moving around, and I think it's funny because I do high school sometimes, mostly elementary school, but I also sub high school, and so I'm always like, oh, some kid's gonna look over at my stomach and see my stomach moving around and be like, oh my gosh, what is that? So I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for that to happen. I've been craving sweets for sure. I would say in the beginning of the week, it was more of like chocolates and things like that, and then towards the end of the week, it became about like the sour things, and Easter's just around the corner, so they have all of like that Easter candy out, so I was eating like the Reese's with the peanut butter, and like those like caramely eggs that they have out at Easter time, and then I was so excited because one night we went to Rite Aid, and they had the jelly beans, like Sour Patch jelly beans, which I wanted Sour Patch Kids, and then I wanted jelly beans, and then they had the mixture, and I was just like so excited. Yeah, I would say sweets has definitely been a craving of mine this week. As I look at my hands kind of, I see how chubby they are looking. Don't mind my nails, I need a manicure really bad. But my rings are normally super loose on me, and that's another thing this week. I've like started swelling. I've never had such like large thighs and calves in my life. Like that's normally like the skinny part of my body, and they've just like grown. My feet have swollen. I have toe rings on, and so my feet have swollen. It's not super bad, but it's definitely noticeable. My face is super swollen. I feel like I look like a 400-pound person with how swollen my face looks. A lot of people say that they can't notice it, but I mean, you can always notice it more on yourself. So for me, it looks like I have a super swollen face. This week my dogs got in a really big fight, and I was gonna take them for a walk, and they saw the leashes, and they were like kind of play attacking each other, and then all of a sudden it just turned serious, and so I had to break up the dog. And so I don't know if you can tell, but like right here I got bit by them, and then like another one up on top, and then just like There's another one right there. And for a while I was worried about the baby because I was like basically like wrestling with the dogs on the floor. I mean, granted, they're dachshunds, so they're not like these huge like labs that I was doing that with. That was something that was kind of scary for me this week because I was so emotional and my temperature rised because I was so like upset and nervous about the situation. But everything ended up being okay, so we're all good. It's a weird random thing, but I've noticed that when it's really, really quiet, and I've only heard it 3 times the whole entire time I've been pregnant, and it's been kind of like the mid to late pregnancy that I've heard this, but when I'm laying really quiet on my side sometimes, it sounds like I can hear like what you would think like the amniotic fluid, your water breaking sound would sound like that pop. And I know it's not that, but it sounds like almost like a crunching, crackling, like popping type of noise. And so I went online and I researched it. And one forum said that it could be like baby like pushing into your intestines or something. And then another forum said that they've not done like a academic research study on it, but they believe that it could also be like baby's joints rubbing or moving or stretching or something like that. And that's just kind of like a theory. So I don't know if that's what I'm hearing, but it definitely sounds like a crackling noise like in my stomach or like a pop, and I'm gonna bring it up to the doctor, but I'm like kind of nervous about it because I mean that sounds so crazy, like, oh, I'm hearing like popping in my stomach. He's gonna be like, what? So I hope I'm not the only one that's ever heard this. They said it's not common to hear this, and it has to be like really quiet in like the perfect situation. But I mean, I've heard it 3 times, so we'll see what he says. And kind of the last thing that I've been feeling this week is I've definitely had more cramping and tailbone pressure. I went online and I researched that as well, and they said the tailbone pressure could be from the baby dropping. And I know at 35 weeks baby can start dropping just a tiny bit, but I've definitely, even when I'm going on my walks and everything, I noticed the tailbone pressure. And it almost feels like it's like getting pushed out. And so I had my husband feel there when it was hurting while we were walking, and he's like, yeah, I can feel it. And he's like, it kind of feels pushed out a little bit. And then I've just been having kind of like light cramping, like where you'd have menstrual cramps, and it hasn't been at all consistent, very inconsistent, just random times throughout the day, and it's very, very mild cramping. So I'm guessing they're Braxton Hicks or something along those lines. Last night while I was sleeping, I woke up and I was having some cramping in my stomach, and I think it was maybe just because I was laying weird, or it could have been Braxton Hicks, I don't know. But I've definitely been feeling it, so I'm hoping that it's a good sign that that's happening, because I know sometimes that can mean that dilation's occurring and all of that good stuff. Not that I know that that being dilated doesn't mean like you're going to go into labor or anything, but just knowing that there is progression being made, and hey, I mean, if I'm already dilated to 2, that's 2 centimeters of labor that I don't have to go through. So that's how I look at it. So I guess I'll go ahead and do my belly shot now. Okay, so this is with the shirt on. And then here's one side. And the other side. I don't know if some of you that have had babies can tell if she's dropped or not yet. And then here's without, or the shirt up. And you can kind of tell right here where my belly button ring was. It's lifted and my belly button's coming out just a little bit. And the side. And the other side. So, yeah, I guess that's it. And I will see you guys for my 36-week pregnancy vlog. And in the next couple of days, look out for the diaper bag video and my hospital bag, because that needs to get put up soon. Because, I mean, technically something could happen in the next 2 weeks and I could have her, and I need to have all that done. So I'll be posting that and the nursery tour video. And that should all be this week. So I'm going to have lots of videos up for you guys, and I hope you enjoy them. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!